Good morning. Welcome to What's New with Mike and Jeff. Your Saturday morning hobby hangout coming to you live via the interwebs. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff. Good morning, Kyle.
Morning, but that was an intro. Woo!
Oh, my voice got all crackly and all that good jazzy stuff that jazz singers like to have in their voice when they sing.
I ran out and whipped together a glass of tea while you were doing the whole intro. So.
Well, and I had you off screen because, good morning, Tim. I had to have you off screen at first because I'm like, I don't know if he's going to come back yet. So
I made it.
You made it, and you came in right underneath the wire.
Right under the wire.
Right on time.
Oh.
So that is how it's done. So how you been? Now, congratulations. You are now officially a car owner. So this means you are one step close. How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
60.
One step closer to being an adult at age 60.
Well, don't insult me like that. I'm just,
You're finally starting to grow up.
Starting to feel like a real boy.
Feel like a real boy, like got your big boy pants on now, and you're
Well, I've still got to get it registered, and we were talking about the troubles and tribulations of that problem before the show, but we're getting there. I just bought a car, and I used to be obsessed with what I drove, that it had to be, look a certain way and everything else, and something. I just wanted something to get me from point A to point B.
Yep.
And usually for me, point A to point B is literally less than 10 miles. So yeah.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. But that's where you're like in Arizona to survive, because you just had the motorcycle when you're in Arizona. Yeah. You can survive in Arizona just with a motorcycle.
Absolutely can.
It's not comfortable a few months out of the year.
Well, yeah. I mean, in midsummer, it was because one of the problems with Arizona is here when you ride in the winter, and the temperature gets to a certain level, the faster you go, the colder it gets.
Right.
The exact opposite is true in Arizona. When it goes above, I think it's 95 or 96 degrees, the faster you go, the hotter it gets.
Yeah, it's like an air dryer in your face.
Yeah, it's like being in front of a blow dryer.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, it's easier to ride in Arizona that way than it is here, because riding a motorcycle when wind chill factor is -10.
yeah.
It's a bit much. So
but
it's a nice little car. Give me around.
Yep, that's all you need. Good morning, Robert.
Hey, Robert and Kim and Hi Call Ray. Hello, Hi Call Ray. I believe that's Raymond.
Oh,
I believe that's Raymond.
Could be.
Can't guarantee it.
We'll find out eventually. But it is cool that you're stepping up and you got a car now. So this is very cool.
I got a car, but since Rob's on the show, Rob, I'm going into ride on Monday because I haven't got it registered yet, but I will explain the trials and tribulations.
Yes.
On Monday morning.
But,
and it won't be disappointing, the series of events that I went through. So
you'll have the debrief ready for you Monday morning when you pick them up.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool though, because a car now opens up an opportunity for you to have more glorious weekends like you did last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Hey Don.
Morning, Don.
Because you said you had you called me. So for everybody that's watching, you need to understand, Jeff and I don't really call each other. It's usually like something major has to be going on for us to call one another.
It's actually on a scale of majors. We had a really good day. We usually call and share the good news.
Yes.
And we had a really bad day.
Yeah. But we don't do the casual, hey, what's up, buddy?
We normally catch up before the show on Saturday.
Yeah. So Jeff, I'm chilling on my couch in the living room, not really doing anything, just kind of doom scrolling on the television. And Jeff calls. I'm like, oh shit. What's up?
World's coming to an end.
Well, I like most people, I immediately go to the negative.
Yeah,
that's just how we are programmed by the media these days. Is everything's doom and gloom, everything's negative. We got 2 different breeds of cicadias coming out this year. Crops are going to be destroyed. The world's coming to an end. Anyways, so I immediately went there. He is giddy like a schoolgirl on the first date, and he is like pitches up, excitement levels up. I am like, oh my God, I am talking to 12-year-old Jeff right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Please.
That Saturday was my 5th game at 10th edition.
Okay.
Which I've enjoyed every single game. Everything game has been great. But the first 4 games, I'm still learning how 10th edition works. I'm still learning about stratagems, about different aspects of the game, because they change quite a bit. And that's the bad thing about when you're playing a new edition of a game. They normally change just enough to confuse the crap out of you.
Yes.
So I'm starting to get the rules down. I'm starting to get the how to use what the stratagems can do, because where before each army there were certain in 9th edition there were stratagems that were just generic that everybody could use. And then every army had their own set of stratagems. So I think there was as high as 40 to 50 stratagems you had to choose from.
Right.
Well, now the stratagems.
Paralysis.
Yeah, there are like 9 stratagems that everybody can use, and then every detachment you use, that detachment gives you a certain set of stratagems. But you're not dealing with a whole lot. And the new app, their app is phenomenal, because there's now a feature on the app where you can, I refer to it as a gameplay, where it lists everything that you have available to you, from your units,
right,
to your stratagems, to your detachment rules. Everything is right there. You just scroll up and down on your phone. So that game Saturday was the first game I felt like 80% like I knew what I was doing.
Which is actually the average for most gamers.
Yeah, I've never played a game of 40K in my life, starting with Rogue Trader to today, that after the game I'm not talking to the guy I played and go, hey, we screwed this up or we got that wrong.
Yeah.
And so that just goes without saying.
Yeah. And I think that's where most people are at. They're at that 80 to 90% top.
Yeah.
Obviously, the competitive people are probably in the upper 90 percentile of knowing.
But even they, and what I've noticed from watching, because I've watched a ton of streams. I even watched a stream last weekend for Scorched Earth when it was kicked off. So I watched the stream for Scorched Earth. I didn't watch it. I wasn't home enough to watch it from beginning to end, but I watched big chunks of it. And I've learned from streaming that even guys that are competitive players,
they still make
mistakes.
Yeah.
They make it, and it goes back to that. They change the rules just enough that you make assumptions. All that still works the same way, and it doesn't. Like for example, in 10th edition, if a weapon's called heavy, I'm used to that meaning that if you move a heavy weapon, you're at a -1 to hit.
Right.
Doesn't work that way anymore. Now you have your base ballistic skill, and if you don't move, you're at a bonus to hit.
Okay. But movement has no negative effect.
Yeah, no. If you move, you still use your base effect. Yeah. But if you're stationary, you get a bonus to your hit. That's basically the difference. But it's still called heavy, so you can fall into that assumption of, well, I'm a -1. No. I don't have any minuses now. But if I don't move, it's stationary. So you got to remember, that's the kind of stuff they deal with.
And that's such a minor change of a rule.
It is.
But because you've played for so many years and heavy's always been this, if you didn't actually read it and remember it, it's one thing to say, I read that rule, but remembering it and blocking out your,
you fall into old habits.
Yeah.
So this was the first, 2 things happened in this game. It was the first game I've played where I was like around 80% confident, not confident that I knew the rules, but confident that I knew I had to check these things.
Sure.
And then the other one was it's the first game out of 5 that I got to go first.
Ooh, yeah.
Which my army is definitely a go first army. And then I also realized you can give out, each detachment has certain what they call enhancements you can assign to your characters. And it has a certain point value. I play Stormlance, which is basically a fast attack kind of a detachment. And it's really, you can tell it's designed for White Scars.
Sure.
Because it really gives benefits to mounted troops. So on bike, or in my case on Thunderwolf Cav, I can have bikes or Thunderwolf Cav.
They're
counted as mounted.
Right.
But you can give an enhancement that allows you during the movement phase, you can basically consider whatever turn you're in as one turn higher when it comes to playing your reinforcements, your stuff you leave off board.
So like turn 1 would be, you could consider turn 2 for the important stuff bringing that. Okay.
And reserves can't come in until turn 2. So if you have that enhancement, you can take your, say, Thunderwolf Cav, put them in strategic reserve, and bring them in during the move of turn 1.
Right, because that's a special strategy. Good morning, David.
And I finally remembered that was the enhancement that my Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf had. And the other thing is when you assign a character to a unit, for all intents and purposes, he's part of the unit, with the exception of being shot at.
Right.
He's protected because he's in the unit. He's shielded by the unit. And you have to have a skill called Precision to pick him out. So basically, when he can come on turn 1, which was a big advantage in the game. And I got some picks. I'm just go through it. Okay. We're having this conversation now.
Hey, me and Andy talked about it because she heard the whole conversation because I had to get on speakerphone. And she's like, who was that? I'm like, that's Jeff. She went, you mean Jeff? I'm like, yeah.
Jeff, my bestie, who's always dour. And so
it was just a very,
I played this guy.
Hey.
And I discovered that he does this when someone points a camera at him.
He gets that awkward
involuntary reaction to a camera being pointed at him. This is Dave Taylor.
It's part of his charm. And look at all those totes behind him. Is that how he transports his army?
No. Well, he does transport in a tote, but those aren't his. There was also another reason I thought about you. There's a Lord of the Rings tournament going on around us. So we were playing in the back corner of the game room, and I played Dave, and they basically I got some really good pictures. His army is a Space Marine chapter of its own that's based on Iceland.
Isn't it like Viking or Nordic lore?
It's more Icelandic.
Okay,
but it has a lot of Viking roots.
Yeah,
because that's who kind of colonized Iceland.
Yeah. They like that cold weather.
But he doesn't use the Space Wolf Codex as his rules. He used the generic Space Marine book for this.
Okay.
But his army is gorgeous, by the way.
Of course. How many points you guys did?
2,000 points.
Okay. So
this is basically his army deployed out throughout on his side of the table.
And what store are we at?
We are at games and stuff. Which after this, I have pictures of games and stuff.
Okay.
I only got 3, but it'll give you an idea of what size store that is.
He's got all his cards laid out, so he's got all his.
Now that's his cunning way of stopping me from bringing infiltrators into his deployment zone.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what he says anyway.
It's just a big gap in the ground, and if your guys walk over, they fall in.
Force field or something.
Yeah,
that's basically his 2,000 point army.
Gorgeous.
Now I just got some pictures of some of the highlights of the game.
We need to get him some what's new with Mike and Jeff dice. Because
he has them.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Right there. See?
Oh, I didn't know if those were his or yours.
No, see the green one right there? That's yours.
So he has some.
And that's the IOG dice, and I believe one of these is he's got like 2 sets of them.
Okay, all right.
But he also has his own build, paint, play dice.
Nothing beats rolling dice against Jeff, and you get all the wolf paws.
Well, I have to tell you, I bought you saw my dice last week on the show.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I used them, and I got to tell you, first turn and second turn, for all the first turn and some of the second turn, I could not fail a roll. My first 3 charge rolls were 12, 11, and 12.
Oh my god!
Yeah. This guy right here, he's using one of those combat suits, the big robotic looking.
Okay,
thing. Yeah. That died fairly quickly from shooting. My Centurions shot it up pretty good. There are his Centurions, and then we go on to the next turn. I bring on my Thunderwolf Cav, and my Thunderwolf Cav basically get in his troops here. My Brutalis Dreadnought gets into these infiltrators in this building here. And I just start rolling up his deployment zone.
Oh, there's your big dread.
There's my Brutalis right there.
Yes, love it.
Yeah, he had a lot of shooting, so and there's the first objective. I've already got 2 objectives under my control by this time.
But here's the thing: he has a lot of shooting, but it doesn't matter if you're in his face on turn 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the other nice thing about Stormlance is I can actually fall back in my turn, which means I can exit hand to hand.
Right.
And then because I'm playing, hey, look at that, it's Mr. Rothhauser.
Hey, Greg.
I can then actually, with Stormlance, I can fall back and then recharge the same turn.
So basically, you're Tau. Hey, good morning, Darren.
Hey, D, how you doing, buddy?
So you're basically Tau.
Yep. For this particular detachment, yes. But yeah, my Brutalis is in there, and I took some fire getting in there.
Yeah.
And we just kind of start wading through here.
You just made that corner just a big slugfest of getting it all done.
Yeah. And he brought that unit here. There's that unit with a psyker. Let me get back to where I was. There's that after that hand to hand.
Brutal.
Yeah, and then I consolidated into that psyker.
Sure.
There's my thunder. This guy, tank shock is nasty. It's a stratagem, but basically you can do a lot. You can do up to maximum of 6 mortal wounds. So that hit my Thunderwolf Cav pretty hard.
Is that just 2 Thunderwolf Cav against?
That's it. My 6 were down to 2. And that's literally from shooting. Because after I wiped out that unit, I took a lot of shooting. Then I got into that battle suit, and it took me a couple turns, but I finally got rid of that battle suit. And then there's what was doing all the firing. All the shooting.
Yeah, that's what made you go out and buy some new models.
Yeah, right there. That's not even the execution. That's a standard repulsor. It's scary.
Tank shock is even more fun when you can do it for free. Oh,
yeah. Well, that's cool because a lot of your characters have a thing called rights of battle, I believe it's called, which allows you to spend to burn a stratagem, to put a stratagem on that unit for 0 command points. And you can even duplicate a stratagem that's already been cast, already been used. And one of mine is that I can basically re-roll charge rolls. There's a ton of them out there. My favorite though is ride fast, ride hard. It's basically for Stormlance that you basically, when he shoots at you, you spend a command point and do ride fast, ride hard. He's a -1 to shoot, -1 to wound.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So it's got a lot. It's got a lot of nuance, and that kind of is where the differences come in. Where beforehand, it used to be the army itself that gave you all those different strategies. But whatever detachment you play gives you a kind of a theme for the army.
Right.
So Stormlance was really good for the army that I have right now. But there's the middle of the table. This was where I was having most of my trouble, was clearing those guys out.
We're gonna go with that's Raymond. The current balance data has that ability restricted to battle tactics starts.
Strats, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Strats. Sorry. Yeah.
And that's exactly that. And then that's why Raymond he's our encyclopedia.
There you go. So this is the other side of the battlefield?
That's the middle of the battlefield.
Oh, that's the middle. Okay.
Yeah, he had a lot of infiltrators. He changed up his army a bit. He actually had me outnumbered by a lot.
I bet. Well, because you're paying for all those mounts.
Yeah. And there we go. I had fallen back there, and we're going to hit him again, and then Brutalis is going to get involved. There's the objective we're fighting over.
Machine against machine.
I only had 4 wounds left on that Dreadnought. See the little dice right there?
Oh, it's down to 2.
I had there's 4. That's a 4. But here's David's. David's got 10 wounds on him. I've got 4 wounds left. We were pretty much, but I took it out finally.
About time. Geesh.
And there, after it's dead, we moved this direction.
There's that tank. You gotta love that tank.
There's David's.
What was he rolling for?
I believe he was making saves.
Oh, that don't look good.
It didn't go well at all for him.
One save, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I think my next shot, that's what was coming at him.
Oh no.
Those are my heavy my assault interceptors with jump pack.
Jump, smash.
Yep. And that was and unfortunately I failed that charge. I did not make it, so they got shot up pretty good. So, and that is it for that.
But you ended up.
And yet we played for almost 4 hours. We called it the end of turn 3.
4 hours for 3 turns.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff. And well, the other thing was it was like a really friendly game. Dave and I are joking and laughing and talking to people coming up. I had a great time.
Good morning, Victor.
And it was literally just it was 25-15 in my favor. Now I will state, because I really don't consider it a victory. The victory was having a good game. It was a lot of fun.
That's the victory.
But the pendulum had swung the other way because I'm down, quite a bit, and he was, and my dice rolls. And this was the funny part. When I'm talking to you, I said, "Yeah, my dice got kind of normal," and you went, "Oh my God, that had to suck." I said, "No, not normal for me. Normal in general."
Exactly. Well, because as soon as you said normal, I'm like, oh, so you
not my normal. Everyone else was normal. And it was really funny. At one point in time, Jeff Hall, who is the operations manager for games and stuff, came up and he saw my dice, which have the F me on the ones. I went, "I'm sorry, Jeff. This table's PG-13 because of my dice." And he just starts laughing. He goes, "Yeah, I can see that." I said, "Well, just look at it this way. The dice say it, so I don't have to. I'm not vocalizing it, but it was the dice. My dice went pretty well."
Yes. Dawn is complimenting your jump troops.
Yeah, they there's a story behind that. I'm actually working on the short story for the Army right now. But it was a great game. Dave's a really great guy to play. We were then he and I went out for barbecue after that. There's a really nice barbecue shop, barbecue place right in the parking lot. So
what'd you have?
I had the barbecue brisket sandwich. Really good.
I was at Rudy's yesterday. I had turkey.
Ooh, nice. Well, I want to look at something else here.
Okay, let's look at the shop pictures.
Yeah, this is games and stuff. To give you an idea, the only thing that this has that IOG doesn't have is just square footage.
Okay.
Because I think Darren's store is still one of the best stores I've been in, and I've been into a lot. But games and stuff has a definite size. This is the game room. If you see this building right here, that is the end of the table that Dave and I were playing on.
Okay, so you're at a corner table.
I'm in the very far back corner. This is the game room.
All right.
And then this is the game room from the other side. So this picture is taken from that door right there.
Okay.
Right here. And this table right here was where we were playing.
Oh, so this is like before the store opened because all the tables aren't.
No, this is afterwards when Dave and I were leaving.
Okay. So that's like a big hall.
That's just the game room.
Yeah.
And then this is the actual store.
Okay.
To give you an idea just how big it actually is.
They look like they're in like a big old box store. Like
they're literally in what would be considered like a super Walmart size space.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally huge. Now, I think the only difference is they again, they just have everything. Like everything is like, see how all these right here?
Yeah.
Everything is stocked deep.
Right.
Their inventory is just massively deep.
Well, that's how you have to be.
Yeah. But that's, and then behind me, where I took this picture, behind me is a 8-man painting station.
Okay.
And then the walls are all lined with product. The game room and the store are massive, just two separate parts. There's an actual wall dividing the two.
Which is good because that way you can keep the noise down from just like Darren's shop. The noise, because I remember being at IOG back in the day when the gaming was in the center of the shop.
Right. And
some days it gets super loud in there when you're just got people looking around at product. So having that separation is always a good thing.
When we had all these tables, but the one here, and the one Dave and I played on were full. Cool. All the tables were played because they were playing on. Each table had 2 games of Lord of the Rings on it. Had a great event. They had a good time. There's their game library where you can sign up games, and then their card table. When I got here in the morning, there was probably all the miniature tables were full, with the exception of the two right where Dave and I were, and then almost, I'd say, probably 50 to 60% of the card tables were full as well.
Very cool.
So,
and Don is commenting that huge game stores are normal on the East Coast. Probably has more to do with the cost of rental cost and
rental space in Baltimore is expensive.
I don't know.
In Baltimore, it's expensive.
When I see that big store living in Arizona, I'm like, man, I bet their electric bill in the summertime would be a murderous bill. I'm trying to keep that big store.
I will say, when I talked to Darren about games and stuff, Darren knew the owner and referred to him as a legend in the retail game store community.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don is asking that as a question.
Oh, actually, no, they're not. They're pretty much as rare here as they are out west. They're kind of unique, absolutely kind of unique.
Yeah.
Because they are hard to manage. But the staff are beautifully trained. As a matter of fact, when I was checking out, because of course I bought some stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm checking out, and they basically I had a bunch of supplies, and I said, yeah, I need to just keep the receipt, because they're all supplies for work. And she goes, oh really? She goes tax deductible, huh? And I said, yeah. And she goes, what do you do? And I said, well, I said part time I do commission painting. And so she ended up bringing my Facebook page up and starts looking at, and then starts picking my brain for painting questions.
Oh, cool.
So it was a good time all around.
Ooh, could that lead to a job opportunity in your like future commission work? So
yeah, it was more or less just talking to her. She was really, I mean, all the staff there was really nice, really knowledgeable. They're so big they have an actual greeter.
Really?
Every time I've never opened a door to walk into the place, because I'm usually coming up with my army bags the 3 times I've been there. And they see me walking in, and they meet me at the door for me. And there's always someone there to meet and greet, which is just good business, because a lot of people think that you're there to make the customer feel good, which is true, but it's also letting you know as you walk in the door, we're watching you.
And that's kind of more the I have enough people who open the door for you. I have enough people to watch you when you're in the store.
Yeah, but no, it's a great store. Jeff and I go way back. Like I said, I think last week I was telling you guys that when I came down for my interview, I actually slept on Jeff's couch, having only met him at the 97 Grand Tournament. Prior to that, and Alan Blunt was the guy that actually introduced me to Jeff, and I've known Jeff forever. So yeah.
Well, as soon as you get your car stuff sorted out, maybe this could lead to more exciting phone calls from Jeff at 2:00 in the afternoon.
There's Amos and Anthony are both guys I work with at Battlefront. We're planning on at least one Saturday a month, if possible, to just go down and hang out.
There you go.
Because I got nothing in this area of the country like that. For me, it's an hour and 10-minute drive.
And that's something that recently, Tabletop Minions, Adam over there, recently had a conversation taking place on a video talking about the third space. And I
just watched that video.
Yeah, and I guess Darren's mentioned this kind of the concept before.
I actually watched Tabletop Minions video. And then I shared it with Darren. I just wanted to get his take on it, because I was kind of like, it's kind of interesting. That's an interesting thing. But got to get down there and place at some point. I need to learn the new edition. Actually, quite frankly, Greg, is of all the editions that I've gone through, which 5, 6, and 7 I'm kind of weak on. I started playing 8th a bit, played 9th.
We played the hell out of 8th. Don't tell me you played a bit.
And 10th is my favorite of the most recent editions. It plays really well, and I can't say enough good things about the app.
Right.
And I have, because of the fact I get a free miniature every year, and access to a Warhammer TV, and I get to use the app. It's not an unjustified thing.
And GW's apps in the past have been trash.
This one's fantastic.
Yeah,
it is fantastic.
Got that situated. But anyways. So yeah, the third space, and that's kind of what
Greg's a second edition fan. So.
That's what Adam was talking about in that video. So if you hadn't had the chance to watch it, go watch it.
Yeah.
Really kind of emphasizing the I don't want to say the psychological side of this concept of going to the game store, but it's like the neighborhood bar, it's like the neighborhood hangout.
Yeah.
Your game store is your third space, and a lot of people may not associate a business like that to being that third space, but it is the place you hang out and you socialize. And a lot of people lost their third space during the blacker days of society of the 20s. And people changed their habits. And I noticed that in myself, that I changed all my habits to where going to the shop and just hanging out, not necessarily doing anything. I don't have to be playing. I used to just go to the shop and hang out. Like we would just sit around and BS. And I think a lot of people stopped doing that. So that's kind of like I lost that third space.
Yeah.
It was just an interesting video, and it's just like, okay, it's got me thinking.
When I first started gaming, we always got together at a buddy's house and played.
Right.
I remember when I first started playing 40K, I was playing in the guy's basement. It wasn't until I found the guard tower in Columbus that I actually started playing in stores.
Right.
We played D&D, and in the guy's living room. We went to Tom's house to play 40K, and then I found the guard tower. And I found the guard tower. This is really weird. I found the guard tower because I went to a con in Columbus. I'd lived in Columbus for a long time, and I came across a sign that basically had an advertisement for a place called the Guard Tower, and it was supposed to be in Columbus. But I was on the east side of Columbus. They were on the west side, and it was about a 30-minute drive.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. And I started gaming there, and that's where I was also playing BattleTech at the time. We were literally playing on kitchen tables. I didn't start playing a store till the Guard Tower, and then that kind of became the thing. So.
Well, but he also relates that because in the UK it's totally different, but people still have their third space. It's clubhouses and stuff, and people's homes can be that third. It's where the concept is. It's just where you go to be with people to socialize.
Yeah, well, he also mentioned in that video that there's a lot of gaming clubs in Europe because stores don't have the space to have big major. You barely see grocery stores in the UK that are as big as games and stuff. I mean, they're not big.
You don't have the big box store concept.
No, they're now becoming a thing, but it's a rare thing. When I was over in the UK.
Well, and it's going to be at those outskirts. It's not going to be in the heart of the UK because those are all older buildings, and they're building that stuff out. Because we saw David's tour of the UK and all the stores that he got to visit, and we loved those stores because a lot of them were in like basements or they were just in different places. And
well, in Tabletop Minions, he talks about the gaming clubs because they pay dues,
right?
And those dues rent a space in some bigger facility,
right?
And we have one in Delaware. Or we had one in Delaware. I don't think they exist anymore. Rob, if you're still watching, because Rob was a member of the Ice House, which was basically a gaming club here. It was in Delaware. It was in Delaware, in Maryland, Northern Maryland, kind of thing. And Rob played there for a long time and knows all the guys that are involved in it. But it was one of those places where they basically had a space. And I don't think they paid dues to get the space. I believe the space came from the guy that ran the club.
Right.
He worked there, and his bosses let him come in and use the facility on weekends to play.
Yeah.
But those are few and far between in the US.
It's hard because retail space in the U because you'd basically be renting a retail space, and it's all kind of different. We don't have basements out here, so
well, they would rent places like there's a lot of community spaces you can rent, but it's just not something we do here. But over in the UK, it happens all the time. Yeah. Over in Europe, it happens all the time.
Well, that's their culture. That's kind of how they built up the gaming world, and it's just different. But it is something to think.
Unlike here. They keep their old buildings, and we sell them and tear them down as quickly as we can.
We don't build things to last anymore.
Well, we build them to last, but we're constantly renewing and changing and building new stuff.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But anyway, so it's good to see you have such a wonderful time.
I had a ball. I had an absolute ball.
And maybe this is going to now be open up that opportunity for you to get that third space.
Hopefully.
Because work is your one, home is your other, but you want that third little place to that's why you see so many people. You need to no, I'm not turning my rental property into a class. I'm sorry. First of all, I don't know if you know, but Joe's in the hospital. Was in the hospital. I don't know if he's still.
I've been following along on Facebook. Is he still there? How things going?
I have not heard if he's still there, but everybody.
I've seen an update recently.
He had some health issues and he had to be taken to the hospital. So he is recovering though. So I do know that. So
good.
That might be why we don't see as many things. He's not joining us because he's.
Yeah.
I don't think hospitals allow you to.
I have been following along. Kim's been posting stuff on Facebook and following along that way. So yeah, just keeping tabs.
Should we go ahead and look at photos?
We can.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of the Dave and Mike show.
So you guys all remember I was working on a secret project. I couldn't share anything with anybody. I'm sure if any of you.
Hi. Yes, I am. Okay, bye, sweetheart.
Why are you looking down?
My granddaughter walked up to the window and started talking to me. And I have the blinds pulled, but below I have the blinds up far enough. I heard something. I leaned down and I just saw these little eyes. You on your show? That's good. I'm on my show.
Oh, that's funny. So, anyways, you guys, I was working on a secret project. It's no surprise. We'll start with Dave's stuff.
I always put yours and my stuff at the end.
I know.
You can continue your conversation. You want to wait till we get there?
Nope. Go.
All right. Well, I was in the mood of doing stuff, and they came up. So anyway, this is stuff from Dave.
I love that dragon.
That dragon looks very nice.
I just love it. This is so amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Again, I'm excited to have painted stuff from Dave.
Yeah.
Dave on the show. So, and then we're going to Tim.
Tim got into a BattleTech groove.
Yep.
I think these are calves, but
they're still a big tall mix.
Well, he was at the shop and he was watching some games being played, and he knows how many people were playing BattleTech, and then he got the itch. Go paint some BattleTech.
That's one of the nice things about going into a shop.
Yes, you get kind of excited about things that are going on in the world.
Yep.
I love it.
Nice stuff. And a few historicals.
Pirates. Doing the pirates. Oh, gosh, he went crazy. I didn't see these photos.
Yeah.
I missed them. And then some Civil War models.
Civil War.
Yeah. I guess he's getting back into black powder.
Yeah, there you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I actually if DBR and DBM was still a thing, I would love to get into some
I'm sure it's still a thing.
I'm watching Shogun, so I want to go back and play my 15 millimeter Imperial Samurai.
Oh, look at you!
That was my other army. I had Scots, and then my late Imperial Samurai.
All in 15,
which are fun to paint. Essex and Dixon models at 15 are fun to paint. They're really fun to paint.
Yes, Shogun is
Shogun is so good. Only 2 episodes left before the 2 episodes for the big finale.
The big battle.
Bum bum bum.
Woo. Look at that.
Good stuff.
Flags are always kind of a hard thing to do.
And now you probably want to go on with your conversation about what you were doing.
Anyways, if you guys know, I only commission paint for Gameland Games. And we'll
run back. Just keep talking.
Okay. They recently released the models that I painted, which were for the new Tiny Epic Game of Thrones. So they actually partnered with a company that actually has the license for Game of Thrones. And they let them, I don't know how the paperwork works, but Gameland Game gets to produce it, do the Kickstarter, and then the rights will then, after they are done with the Kickstarter, they release, and anything extra they they print at that time, they get to sell off, like the inventory. But then the rights of the game go to the license holder.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how the system works. I don't know. It's very complicated.
They all work differently, but they can work. They also work really, really
well. Yeah. So anyways, so they did their own Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yes, David. Don. I remember Shogun from the 80s.
Oh God. Hey, did you ever read the book?
I actually watching the new one has actually it basically pushed me that direction.
Dude, that's like a serious. That's yes.
Anyway. But anyway, on with your.
So, anyway, the Kickstarter's up. It's live. Last I checked, it was like at $350,000. So it's tracking very well.
So you can now show these models.
Yeah, go for it.
Boom.
So Tiny Epic models are roughly 18 mil.
Right.
18, 19 mil. So they're a little small. And I was trying my damnedest to match the art that they had picked out, that the artist had done for the renderings of the game. So there's like a bunch of them. So just start scrolling on through because I don't remember all their names. Very just like everything's dark, everything's kind of drab in the Game of Thrones world. So I did my damnedest to try to add life to their colors and brighten things up. Lots of Averland Sunset was used in this project. My pictures don't do them justice. These were my proof photos that I was just doing so I could zoom in and look at them and look at everything that needed to be fixed.
There are a lot of them. There
is the Dragon Queen.
There are 18, I think, total.
Yeah, so there's the Dragon Queen. And it's just a fun little project. Had a good time painting them up. I haven't played the game yet. I don't know anything about the game.
For 18 mil, they don't look bad.
Yeah,
there's the throne. There's the throne.
Man, that was the easiest one to paint. It was just a fun little thing, and this has afforded me my next trip to Gen Con.
Hey, Gen Con.
So I will be going to Gen Con. So nice. Yeah, it was neat. Just trying to do the black without it just being black and adding it on blue. Just having some fun with it.
Oh, they all look great. I mean, for 18 mil, they look fantastic.
Yeah, and like if you're watching this on a TV, like they're 20 times larger than they are. When you see them in person, you don't notice all my mistakes. By the photo you do that, I really liked painting that one because I love that yellow.
Yeah, it came out nice. Anyone's done anything with 15 realizes.
Loved it. It's so much fun. She was fun to paint. Just the red and the gold and the trim and all that. Just fun stuff. And trying to just match the artist's renditions of, because they're not they don't have like movie rights to the imagery. So they had to come up with their own art.
Well, I'm getting ready to do a gaming project myself for Gale Force 9.
Yeah.
So as soon as I know when I can actually tell you more, I will.
All right. Sounds good. So the models aren't the greatest. These are board game models. These were the
they got quite a bit of detail on them.
Yeah, for their scale. These were the resin proofs.
Right.
So like when the game company that they're using, they'll do a proof and they'll send them off to to Gamelin Games, and Gamelin will take a look at them and approve them. These were those proofs. These are all the proof models. So adds a little bit of pressure in my life because guess what? You can't screw them up. That model was awesome. I love just the pose of it.
Yeah, it's a good model.
Yeah. I did you can only do so much. The dude that got his head bashed in. That's how I just remember him as.
Nah, they look great, man.
The king. Yeah, so good stuff. I'm sure the game's gonna play fine. There's Jamie. I did that one in a white metal.
Right.
It's just how, because there's actually the photo doesn't really show it. There's a lot of the scroll work on his chest and is actually white.
Oh, okay.
And I went with a lighter metal because it's what it looked like in the photo. So yeah, it is what it is.
No, they look great, buddy.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
And that is it.
Very cool.
Boom.
So yeah, I think it is out. So if you go, I put a link in the Discord if you wanted to go check out the Tiny Epic Game of Thrones. Thank you, Don. So the photos were, if you want to see their photos of them, thank you, David. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the Kickstarter page because they put them in as like samples. It's like, hey, if you really want to paint the models, here are some samples of the models painted. And I think one of the reasons Gameland like using me is, well, first of all, my turnaround on those were super quick.
Yeah.
I think I had 3 weeks to finish them or a month or something. I didn't have much time. So it was like, I was cranking. Luckily, I was on light duty at the time. So I was getting up at 3:30 in the morning and just spending my morning time just painting, and then go to work and do the dirty work thing, and then come home. So, but yeah, scroll down to the bottom, take a look at it. But I think they like because it's like it's a good table quality looking miniature, and I think I think it looks good and it's achievable for people.
Yeah, I agree completely. They look really good.
Thank you. And now, so at Gen Con, I think they're going to be demoing the game at Gen Con.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So people can see it, but the Kickstarter will be over by the end of the month. It's a short, like a 21-day Kickstarter or something like that.
Well, we debuted a game called. I can tell a little bit. We debuted at Adepticon. We were running demo games of our new Conan game.
Yes.
I'm going to be painting some.
I can't wait because I am interested in that Conan game. There's another Conan game out from another company, but it's like a huge, big box game with all kinds of expansion. I'm like, why can't companies just make a good board game and just like, why is it got to be this massive undertaking of a game? It's like, it's kind of a turn off. It's like when I see these games that are on all these big boxes and it's like multiple expansions, like Hero Quest is really starting to drive me up the wall. Like, okay,
well, it's like now I don't have a problem with them. Like, for example, with the our re-release of the 10th anniversary edition of Firefly.
In one big box.
That was one big box. That was everything we ever did for them, and a couple new things.
Right.
But just just starting a game off with that much stuff is
overwhelming. It's that Kickstarter, like, oh my god, I got to get everything, and you get the all-in bundle and everything. And next thing you know, you got like this huge, like, people love taking the photo of the stack of boxes that they get, and it's like, are you ever going to really do anything with all that? Like, I think it's like it creates this unattainable game of like they give you all this stuff. It's like, am I ever going to use it?
I think the thing that I found amazing, I think it's called Red Roof Inn.
Red Roof.
They did a box. They put out so many expansions. They eventually just put a box out. That allowed you to put all their expansions into one place.
Oh, that's something people do now.
It was just an empty box and all and I discovered that my daughter and you share something.
We love boxes.
I bought my daughter and son-in-law, Tim and Zoe. I bought them a 10th edition of Firefly.
Oh,
because they love the game. And they were kind of indifferent about it. They were kind of like, yeah, okay, cool. We already have everything. That's kind of cool. And then I gave it to them because it had everything they already had.
Right.
But it also gave you trays that you can put all the tokens in.
Right.
And my daughter went nuts for that. Once she realized how it was organized, because she spends so much time organizing her games. And she's like real OCD about it.
And this fixes all of her problems.
She was excited when she actually opened it. She was, oh my god, Dad, thank you for that game. That was so well. I said that. Then I saw the video that showed all the different compartments and trays and how they all interlocked. I knew you'd love it.
I'm just not like the new Fallout's out, the movie, and I'm watching it. I'm in like the 3rd episode. Have you watched it?
I'm starting episode 6.
You're further away than me. I will do everything I can not to spoil anything. I don't know if there was much to spoil at this point. I'm only third through that.
I never played Fallout, so everything's new to me.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like you. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was talking to Tim about it, and he's already binge watched the whole thing, and he was like really into it because Tim plays Fallout, and Tim, like, he's into the world.
I played Fallout for a tiny bit when it first came out,
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I'm watching it. Walter Coggins. He plays the guy with no nose.
Okay, the ghoul. Okay,
the ghoul. I'm a big fan of his. Ever since Justified, I will watch anything he's in.
And he is a great actor.
Yeah.
I'm approaching it as I know nothing about the world, so it's interesting to watch because again, it's a different world. So it's interesting to watch.
I'm enjoying it so far, and if you like sci-fi, watch it. It's because it's got that lighthearted sci-fi kind of a feel. Well, it's definitely a period piece because it's kind of got a 60s sci-fi feel to it.
60s, 50s.
Yeah,
and it's a modern movie, so like I'm tracking 3 different story arcs right now, and eventually they're all going to merge into one, obviously. But it's like I'm just getting through. Like, all right, got to watch all this backstory, got to build on it. I understand, and let's get it all done. Hoping that eventually I get out of this. I'm starting to see them tie together, but hopefully we just get it tied together.
See, I'm the opposite of that. I actually like when I've got all that weaving of storyline, and you kind of have to. I kind of like that.
Yeah, but I have to sit here and explain it to my wife throughout the whole.
That's a completely different situation. My cat doesn't care.
But I'm watching it, but it is doing. That is a very more modern. I don't want to say it's current. It's a more modern. That's when I don't know when movies started doing all these interlacing different stories.
Well, it's not episodic. Every episode, and Babylon 5 is one of the Babylon 5 and the UK television have always been that way. Doctor Who is always very much like that.
Well, the Star Trek Brave New World was that way.
Yeah, actually, Brave New World isn't like that as much as it's more episodic. But Discovery, all the other Star Trek series have been like that. They actually, one of the selling points to Brave New World is that it is episodic. Every episode's kind of standalone. However, what they have done is there's an underlying weave of an ongoing story arc.
Yeah. David's saying basically it's a 10-hour movie.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine, same thing. Greg's absolutely correct. Deep Space Nine was a big one for that. It has an ongoing story arc you got to kind of follow.
Yeah, and Brave New World was like each episode was an individual episode.
Yeah, it's very episodic television, but even they have that underlying
a little bit
kind of a story arc there. But it's not huge. It's not. You can. The difference is you can miss an episode
and be okay.
Where shows like Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5, if you miss an episode, you're kind of like.
Fallout's going to be the same way. You've got to watch it in sequence, in series, which is fun. It is what it is, but I'm just kind of grinding through it. I'm just like, we got 3 episodes. Like,
but here's the thing, and I now when I had a person sharing the apartment with me or the house with me, and I'd watch every episode. It was kind of having to catch them up. It was like, well, if you sit down, it's on at the same time that's just me. I actually had an odd thing. My ex-wife and I went to dinner this week.
Oh, really?
It was kind of nice. We kind of got caught up on the grandkids.
Greg's talking something about if crossover with Lower Decks. You are in fact not okay.
Yeah, that is correct. When Brave New World crossed over with Lower Decks.
Okay.
And the animated characters.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was a fantastic episode.
I think I saw that. At one point, I saw something where animated characters were in a regular.
Yeah, what they did was they took the voice actors from Lower Decks. You watch Lower Decks?
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Okay, well they made a crossover into Brave New World.
Okay, that's it.
That's the one, and then they had an animated version of Brave New World at the end.
Right.
I thought it was kind of cool the two cross in the way they did it. It wasn't as good as Farscape's Warner Brothers cartoon episode.
Okay.
That was really good. But yeah, Greg is right. If you missed the Lower Decks, that crossover, you would be lost. You'd be like, what the heck is going on?
But it's out. So Fallout is a new thing. We'll probably start spoiling it. What do you think? Maybe next weekend if it's anything major happens.
Yeah.
And maybe I think that should give everybody enough time to kind of get into the groove and know. It's some of it's once you start getting into some of the character plot development and all that.
I think because I'm actually, believe it or not, I've been spending a little bit of time redoing our intro and our extra.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to put a thing in there that there may be spoilers from something.
We're gonna put like a pre-warning in our intro.
In our intro,
saying, hey, we're gonna spoil television for you, so if you don't want to be spoiled, yeah.
Because the other thing that people don't realize about one of the reasons you and I do this is also how you and I catch up on what's going on in our lives. That's why we don't talk too much during the week. We know on Saturday in our pre-show. Well, pre-show is kind of safe for conquering the world's problems.
Yes, that's a whole nother.
And then after show is kind of talking about the show. And then both of us realizing we're old, and we've got to go to the bathroom.
Welcome to the life of What's New with Mike and Jeff.
That's it in that show. But we actually catch up on this. That's why we started doing it again, so we could catch up.
It's also sometimes we don't paint because while we're
like today, we just get to talking. But I'm set up. My camera's ready to go. But
but we're 8 o'clock.
We're already an hour into the show.
I don't think we've touched a paintbrush. But so I've been watching that, and it's been interesting.
There's a weird one on Netflix that I'm trying desperately to get into it. The 3-body problem or whatever it's called. I'm only 2 episodes in. And it's good. I'm just gotta figure out what it's about. I'm kind of lost.
Yeah. We did watch. We did do a little flashback movie. To great show. What great show? Netflix or 3-body problem?
That 3-body problem is
David's saying some stuff about a great show.
I'm only 2 episodes in. It seems good. I'm trying to get caught up.
Oh, body.
3-body problem. Yeah.
We watched Wayne's World. And it was just on regular TV, like a Sling TV. We were scrolling, and as soon as Wayne's World, and party time. I'm like, all right.
So, that's way back there. Woo,
man, what a stupid movie, but hilarious.
That's what makes it great.
All the way. That's what makes it funny. And it's just the whole heavy metal concepts of that time, I should say.
Well, quite frankly, that time was quite a while ago.
It was, and metal was a little bit different back then.
Dana Carvey's has almost, I think he almost died once since then. It's been a while, and Mike Myers, they're up there in age. So.
Well, but that was like, I don't know if that was groundbreaking. That was their launching movie or anything like that. I think they were relatively famous. They were famous prior.
Well, they were both Saturday Night Live guys.
Yeah.
And that Wayne's World was a Saturday Night Live skit. It was just one of those. I mean, there's a ton of movies. Blues Brothers was a Saturday Night Live thing. He did a movie. There's a ton of them.
Unless they bring back classic cartoons.
Yeah.
Thanks, Victor. You're number one, buddy.
Hey, I miss Saturday morning cartoons.
Who doesn't?
I used to when I was working, I had a full-time job, but I had Saturday mornings off. I'd get up and eat a bowl of cereal and watch cartoons.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to have Saturday morning cartoons like that anymore because we can't keep people from eating Tide Pods. So anyways, moving on.
I'm going to walk off this cliff and I don't look down, I won't fall.
Exactly. I don't want to live in that world. No. But it was funny to watch, and it was just such a flash because I remember seeing that movie at the theaters. I remember how popular it was. It was hilarious.
Yep.
And here come these mysteries. I bet they do.
I bet they do, actually.
Cereal is one of those weird things. Like millennials don't like eating cereal, and like cereal sales have dropped. And I'm like, because you always see these stupid things on Facebook. Things that we're losing because millennials don't use them. Because the millennials are a big buying market, and if they're not buying that product, then I guess that's one of the things. Like cereal is one of those things. I'm like,
there is nothing better
Then a bowl of
watching something on Saturday night and having a bowl of Apple Jacks.
Fruity Pebbles, Apple Jacks.
But now you guys probably realize why I'm built the way I'm built.
Hey, man, I'd rather have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles than a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, I used to
Pebbles in ice cream.
I used to eat like Apple Jacks. I would just put just like chips, just pebble dry.
Oh, you can't dry dog. You can't dry dog Apple Jacks. They'll cut your mouth up.
I'm as far away from a millennial as I'm a boomer. So.
Yeah. And you love your cereal. That's why the cereal still exists.
I love my cereal.
Oh yeah. I
don't eat it much anymore because I count calories and absolutely right, Victor. I count calories and a bowl of cereal with milk is a chunk of calories.
Mike, do you realize millennials in their 30s and 40s? 40?
Yeah, they're
are they reaching the 40? Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's Gen X, which comes after. Is it Gen X? Yes, Gen X that comes after boomers, then millennials, then Gen Z.
Maybe it's the Gen Z generation. I don't know. I just remember reading.
And then Gen, I don't know what.
Yeah, Gen 81 to 96. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they were talking about Gen Z. I don't know. I just remember reading the article like, we're losing. People aren't buying cereal. I'm like, cereal is the greatest thing ever. Yeah. It is
that high. It's amazing when you go, I'm going to have 1,500 calories a day. And then you go get your favorite sandwich from Burger King and realize you've used 3/4 of them.
Yeah. All right.
I'm in the second to last year for boomers.
Yeah.
I was born in 63. 64 is when boomers go bye-bye.
But it is interesting because there is this newer generation coming up. There are a lot of things they're just not into, and that is having a direct effect on sales, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're kind of like losing certain things are going to start shrinking. I guess that would be the better way of saying it. Things are going to shrink because it's only targeting a smaller audience. Where cereal used to just be the thing. Like we were just on Saturday morning cereal, you would just sit down.
Generation
Alpha. Okay. Are we gonna go alpha, beta?
To be honest, I never put a lot of thought into it until one day. I don't know who it was called me a boomer.
Yeah.
And I kind of went, yeah.
and
what's so.
But that was the thing.
Cereal and Pop-Tarts. There you go.
Yeah, I was just maybe that's just something that was such a norm to wake up, have a bowl of cereal for your breakfast, and then move about your day.
My Saturdays were much better when I could get up and watch and eat cereal on Saturday mornings and watch like Scooby-Doo or Thundar the Barbarian. Or Herculoids rocked.
And then after school, when you came home, it was Gilligan's Island, and
mine was Speed Racer.
Oh yeah, yours was Speed Racer.
Yeah, I would run home when I was a kid. Speed Racer.
And locally in Arizona, we had something called the Wallace and Ladmo Show, which was a popular show in the local area where it was a little sitcom thing and they played the cartoons. So you watched kind of both. We're originally Gen Y, Gen Z is now being called Zoomers by some. I could see that Zoomers kind of fit though, because they're the generation that they're growing up in is more technology, and that's when like all of the streaming kind of stuff came into play. I'll get something just in Gen Xers never. Because they're all part of the X-Files.
I'm so glad that all my friends are smarter than me. They keep me well informed.
Yes.
Between you, Greg, and Darren, I've kind of got all the bases covered.
Victor's mentioning Super Friends and
Shazam. I think he said Shazam. Yeah, I think he meant Shazam.
I'm not. Was that a skit song? Was that something? Am I missing?
Super Friends was a Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh,
and Shazam there was a live action cat. So it was called Shazam. It was about Captain Marvel.
Okay.
There's it was really always funny because Aquaman always got left out of Super Friends because all these fish.
Well, it's Aquaman. He only has one special ability, and that's underwater, and nobody cares.
Aquaman wasn't impressive, and who was played by Jason Momoa. And then okay, this is cool.
Now Aquaman didn't become cool till Jason Momoa played Aquaman.
No, I was never. I was never. I mean, when you watch Super Friends, it was Aquaman was kind of, yeah. What are you going to do? You're in the desert. Yeah, what are you going to do? And then Jason Momoa played Aquaman in the movie. And I'm, oh, hey, Aquaman's kind of cool.
I can get it. I can get behind it.
I can get behind this.
Yeah, good times. But yes, cereal is my favorite. It is an addiction.
Aqualad was worse. Yes, Victor, you are correct. Aqualad was horrible. Horrible. So.
But that was a thing. Waking up, cartoons, hanging out, and then
it was a thing until I was in my 20s.
Nope. I guarantee you now, if it's something like, I don't know, like, does anybody play those old cartoons? Like, is the Cartoon Network?
You can still get. The cool part is most of the Saturday morning cartoons. If I think they still do it, you can actually order them from Hanna-Barbera, and they'll burn them to DVD for you personally. I got a copy of the Herculoids.
Really? So I can get all the Thundercats?
Yeah. I already have all the Thundercats. Thundercats is well, I have them on. I bought them on Vudu digitally, but I also have them on disc. So
Thundercats is the shizzle.
Yep.
Now we have fucking Jeff, almost as good as that. Well, thank you.
Very similar.
You're not going to catch us walking off cliffs or painting tunnels in the sides of bridges.
Hey, if I have another Thursday like I had this week, I just might try that. I don't look down, I won't fall.
Oh, much better. All right. So everyone, next week we'll get our bowls of cereal.
Absolutely.
And you get your favorite cereal, and we can do a what's your favorite cereal episode.
There we go. And we should do that. That should be awesome. We should see what people bring.
And we'll all just sit around eating our cereal, which you'll have milk dripping down the sides of our mouths because, spoons are not designed well.
Yeah, that's what this is for.
That's why we have goatees. It's a food catcher.
Catch it.
This is not a fashion statement for Jeff and I. This is keeping it from people seeing the drool run down the sides of our mouths from the food that we're eating.
That's the second reason. The first reason, if I didn't have this, you wouldn't actually see a jawline. It'd just be this
beard,
putty-looking thing.
I'm eating Fruity Pebbles now.
Oh, I am so jealous.
Yes, Fruity Pebbles. We got 2 Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. There we go.
It's the fruity flavors of Rice Krispies.
I like Fruity Pebbles. My other one is Captain Crunch.
Oh, Captain Crunch. Oh, who sang the song about Captain Crunch?
I have no idea.
Oh, you didn't know? You've never heard the Captain Crunch song?
No, I never. I probably have, but with my Swiss cheese memory.
It's an old heavy metal band. SOD is SOD or MOD. I forget which one Captain Crunch was on.
Right.
Really, music that is no longer appropriate to play in society. Type music. Because back then things were just different. But there was a Captain. It's this Captain Crunch.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
Hey. Munch a crunch. It's just old punk music.
I actually have in my CD collection there was a compilation album where they took all the Saturday morning cartoon themes and major bands at that time did covers of them. Hong Kong Phooey, another good one.
Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock is still cool.
Yeah, I keep the magic, 3 of the magic number song keeps going through my head. And I'm Just a Bill. That's it too.
I'm Just a Bill. Oh my God. Let's not get those songs stuck in all the old people's heads.
No.
All right, so next Saturday it's Saturday morning cartoon cereal.
I will be here. I have to. That's a big choice though. What cereal? Do I bring for our Saturday morning?
What cereal identifies Jeff?
Apple Jacks or Captain Crunch?
Yeah, it's like you're gonna boil down to one of those two. Now,
well, there's 3. There's 3. There's Apple Jacks, Captain Crunch, but after Captain Crunch, I have the subset of with or without Crunch Berries.
That is a serious. So Jeff will be Victor's throwing out honeycombs.
Honeycombs, that's a good one.
Now, Captain Crunch is ideal cereal once it has had some time to absorb the milk a little bit.
Apple Jacks the same way.
Yep, but Captain Crunch is just a little bit better.
So the bad thing is we'll probably want to turn the mics down a bit because you and I eating cereal was going to be kind of noisy.
That's the whole idea. Like you know you're eating good cereal when you have to turn the TV up because the crunching in your mouth is so loud your ears only hear. You're like turning the TV up as you're eating the bowl of cereal because it's too loud in your head.
We are taking steps though. I just want you know with this theme, we are taking some major steps to making sure we are never popular on YouTube.
Life cereal for Mike. You know why?
Yeah,
he does like it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Life cereal fan, to be honest with you, even though my name is Mike and my nickname is Mikey. No.
Yeah.
I will be the wild card because I do like my cereals and I love a wide variety of them.
Well, when I take my stroll through the cereal aisle, which I do miss doing.
Oh yeah.
I may come out with something. I may throw a wild card in there because there's so many out there. There's cornflakes. Like, whoa, cornflakes.
Whoa. Well, now
sugar pops.
There you go.
There's so many out there. But my go-tos are usually Captain Crunch or Applejack.
Well, and there's a lot of cereals I've looked at the store but have shied away from because it just looks like I'll be eating a raw bowl of sugar. When you start getting but when you start getting into like the Reese's peanut butter,
yeah, they're insane.
Like you start getting in this, and like, and then you don't even try to look at the calorie count on some of that.
Okay, you ready for this concoction again? Good explanation into why Jeff weighs 4,000 pounds. I used to take puffed rice, the most boring cereal on the planet, right, with chocolate milk, baby.
Oh yeah. So Victor's saying anything but kicks. I can.
So Jake, be here earlier next week because that's what Mike and I are doing. Next week's show is all about Saturday morning cereal, right, and then Mike and I are going to be the cartoon.
We're going to be the entertainment. What did
he said he wanted to come hang out.
Wait until
we should actually let Jake guest with us next week.
Bringing in his cereal too.
You bring your cereal, Jake. Jake, if you bring cereal and you're ready to sit and eat a bowl of cereal on camera with us, you can join us.
Dude, I'm gonna have the gallon of milk, whole box of cereal, and I'm just gonna and we'll just sit here.
And see, there's something else that no one's picked up on. Cereal and milk for on Saturday morning is part of it, but the bowl you put it in
is very important.
You have a cereal. I have a cereal. I never eat cereal anymore because I'm trying to lose some weight. Trying is the key word. But I still have in my cupboard my cereal.
Ooh, the coveted cereal. See, I have very generic. I just have the dishes that we have in our house. But the bowls, when we were picking them out, the wife was looking at these dainty bowls. I'm like, no.
All these later generations don't realize even growing up, I had a cereal bowl.
Right.
That was the right bowl to serve my cereal in just the right amount. And you had to get the milk and the cereal at the right ratio.
Yep. I have a cereal bowl that does about 2 servings a bowl. So yeah, that's my cereal bowl. So
now
snap, crackle, pop.
Absolutely.
Maybe if I can find mini boxes, maybe we'll do a little. Like if I can find a mini box of Rice Krispies,
I haven't seen those in years. The assortment pack.
Yeah.
You can even open it up and pour the milk in the box. Where's it sad? We're just really sad.
What did they? I just ate it from a
soup
plate. What is a soup plate?
I don't know.
I don't.
But it doesn't sound like a
bowl. It doesn't sound like it can hold enough cereal to satisfy the Saturday morning. Because the bowl of cereal had to last at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, to get through at least your cartoons.
Yeah. So
now Victor threw me another. There's a Rice Krispies angle.
Oh, yeah. So I'm assuming a soup plate is something big because he says, "Oh, it does." maybe it's a little too big. Maybe it's a 3-serving plate.
Maybe it's when you serve soup. That's your meat, that big gigantic bowl.
It's the big.
I'm gonna bring my cereal bowl, but my roommate in Arizona, where I lived with Paul, he had a cereal bowl. I'm not gonna use it because it's not my cereal bowl.
Right.
But I'm gonna bring his cereal bowl to show you his cereal because you'll get a kick out of that.
Okay.
So yeah.
He's saying it's just a regular plate, but it's deep. Okay. There you go. I've never heard of it called a.
All right. Well, Jake hasn't responded. I think he's either panicked that we're actually having on the show eating cereal, or he's gone to the grocery store to make sure.
But if I can find a small box, right? I do like Rice Krispies.
I know there's so many choices,
but I put honey on top of them.
Yeah,
that's just I don't put sugar.
I did that with my Cheerios until Honey Nut Cheerios came out.
Well, it's like Raisin Bran. I don't like Raisin Bran unless it's Raisin Bran Crunch.
I don't like Raisin Bran. I prefer just Bran Flakes because I don't like raisins.
See, but I love raisins.
I cannot eat a bowl of cereal where it looks like a squirrel has crapped in my cereal bowl.
Ooh, should we blend cereals?
No.
Oh.
I'll eat 2 bowls of different one of each.
There you go.
Victor, what is Victor just Victor's got to be Googling this crap.
Oh no, I think Victor's a cereal.
Right. He's going through his cupboard right now. I've got this one.
Who is our most famous cereal eater of all times?
Victor?
Jerry Seinfeld.
That's true. That's true.
If you ever watch the Seinfeld
I did not watch Seinfeld on a regular basis, but now I'm wishing I had.
Well, he had above his fridge, like most people, boxes and boxes of cereal. He was known for cereal.
Chocolate Pebbles,
Chocolate Pebbles.
No, that's not a bad mix. That's not a bad mix.
That could be an interesting mix because you're mixing your chocolate, and it could be an interesting mix. But that would be the equivalent now. How many? Because you mentioned chocolate milk. How many times have you put chocolate milk on the cereal and it's just like, this probably wasn't a good idea, but I'm gonna keep eating it. But
yeah, well, that was the cool thing about Cocoa about Cocoa Pebbles and all that good stuff is the fact that you got chocolate milk when you're done.
So it's saying it won't let me message live. I can either see you and hear you guys, but in the message thread, you guys are 10 to 11 now. I'm in. Okay.
All right.
He's in. Any cereal guy, daughter, and grand TV. Yes. Chocolate milk. I've never had chocolate milk. Whoa. David, you've never had chocolate milk? Don't destroy a perfect good. Chocolate milk isn't milk. It's just chocolate. You've never had chocolate milk. That's a fascinating fact.
I have to say this. I'm so glad David has put painted miniatures on our show. Because had he not at this point and he posted that, I'm not sure I could talk to him again.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I would. Because he's put. Also, he gave us pierogies. His wife made us great pierogies.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
But the fact he's never had chocolate milk really makes me concerned. Strawberry Quick.
Oh,
not the best, but good. Chocolate Quick is the best.
Yeah. But what would be the best chocolate milk for David's first experience of chocolate milk, though? There's like
it's got to be Hershey's.
Yeah.
Hershey's syrup and milk. Stir it up.
Stir it up. There you go. Get yourself a little taste, David. You'll never go back. First taste is free, buddy.
Join us next Saturday to watch Mike and I take our first steps in heart disease or diabetes.
And he's a milk traditionalist.
If you're a milk traditionalist, you have to have a cow in your backyard.
Yeah,
you can't be a traditionalist because when I grew up, when I would go to my grandmother's house, they had dairy cattle. That's where the milk came from. It went straight from their barn into their fridge.
All right.
So
next weekend, it is going to be cereal time.
I'm oddly excited for next Saturday.
I'm actually like, but I do want to see if I can find those little boxes. I might have to go to something like the dollar store.
You may have to go online to find it. I haven't seen those things in years.
I agree.
My mom always took us with us when we went camping.
Maybe it's that Gen Z thing. They had to shrink down because the Gen Zers aren't eating enough cereal.
I take that back. I did see them at a hotel when we were on our way to Gen Con or Adepticon. They were. You get these little boxes,
and maybe that's where it's become more of a restaurant hotel type thing. You're gonna try chocolate milk next week. This is gonna be awesome. What was your?
You want to get some Hershey's chocolate syrup
and mix it in with your milk. Yes, don't buy the store made.
No, it's gotta be.
You gotta mix it. If you have one of those pulsating little like mixing things that you can like really mix it up. There you go.
Awesome.
Warhammer Cereal Quest with Mike and Well, all right. So next weekend is going to be an interesting show. First of all, Jake's going to be on the show, and you're going to have two of us that are just going to be talking.
Jake, you should extend an invitation to Dave. Just see if he'll take it. The other thing, let's just pull the plugs out. This week, everyone, instead of posting your pics of your miniatures,
post a box of your favorite cereal.
Post a box or you eating a bowl of cereal, and we'll show those on the show as well.
Oh my gosh, yes. While we're doing the photos, we'll be eating our cereal.
I would willing. Right now, if we could, I'd take bets on one of the three of us blowing milk out our nose. And we'll say something stupid and we'll start laughing and milk will come out our nose.
Good thing mine's all gray. You're not gonna know.
Yeah.
David's gonna send us photos of proof of life. I love it. Yeah, the spoon. Oh, the spoon has to be. It can't be one of those small spoons.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. It's gotta hold. It's gotta be deep enough to hold some milk.
Yep.
And it's got to be able to hold a mountain of the cereal on it.
Yeah.
So, and nothing beats when you have a chocolatey or a strawberry kind of like the Fruity Pebbles or chocolate pebbles or any of those, and the milk kind of becomes like a chocolate milk or a strawberry milk, and you get to drink it all at the end. My wife doesn't drink the milk at the end.
Oh my God!
Literally, it's like she just sets the bowl down. She eats the cereal.
This conversation we probably shouldn't have had. I'm learning things about people that I shouldn't know.
Hey,
I mean, David and no chocolate milk.
I know.
Your wife throws the best part of the cereal. Which one, Katie or Haley? I gotta know. Probably Haley.
Yes, Victor. My wife is a sinner. She is going to burn in cereal hell for that sin.
Oh my God!
Yeah, she does.
I'm learning things I shouldn't know about people. I have a small circle of friends as it is.
Yeah, great saying, Haley.
Who are these people?
Yeah, I know. My wife hates it when I pour her a bowl of cereal because I pull her a Mikey bowl of cereal, which is like I fill my bowl like over the top because the milk fills the gaps in the cereal.
Yeah, unless when you make your bowl of cereal, if you don't have to pick up parts of your cereal to put back in the bowl after you add the milk, you've made it wrong.
You made it wrong.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have such cherished memories of Greg's children. Right. I remember them riding my back like I was a horse and wrestling with them in his yard. Now to find out that Haley uses the wrong spoon.
Well, also she uses the 0. So she uses the fat-free, no-calorie milk. Oh, it's like 90 calories. Wow. Now I'm okay. Like
strawberry.
I get that because some of the whole. I don't like whole milk.
Don't.
I do like.
Don't destroy our friendship.
Now one of the things I started doing because we don't buy as much milk anymore.
Right.
I use protein shakes. I get my Slim Fast protein shakes, my chocolate ones. And I'll mix it, dude. When I want a bowl of cereal,
are you?
What? When I want a bowl of cereal, I want a bowl of cereal. If I gotta use protein shake, man,
well, here's the thing. I don't even have milk in my fridge.
Right.
Because a cup of milk's 100 calories, and when you're trying to stay at 1,500 calories a day, and you eat a bowl of cereal, you're done. That's it. That's your meal.
Yep.
For the day.
Hey, the best way to pour your milk is when you got to put your hand on top of the cereal so it doesn't all float to the top, and then pour the milk in so it doesn't rise over the. You're doing it right.
That's an emoticon. It's meant to be wide. Yes. Okay. I was just reacting to the fact that she discards the leftover milk.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Okay. All right. I was like, whoa. Yeah. Using the right kind of milk. You're eating cereal. So even if it's still the cereal is where the problem is.
Add more milk, then add more cereal, then add more in a box of cereal. Hey, I've eaten a box of cereal in a day. I'm not gonna say I haven't done it.
I've eaten a box of cereal in a meal.
Those boxes are flipping small, man.
There are some days I open my Apple Jacks. I could just save some time. Just pour it right in the box. I don't. I've never done that. But
hey, my favorite place to go shopping is Costco when it comes to buying cereal because you get the double boxes or the triple boxes. I got one at Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, and Lucky Charms all in one box.
Yeah.
And they weren't like little dainty, but you pulled it out. It was like the family size bag of cereal.
Next week's show is going to be a heck of a lot of fun or a total disaster.
This is going to be an interesting show next week. All right. With that being said, and since
I think I'm also going to go through and get pics of all of our favorite cereals and do a pic of that. Everyone out there, give me a picture of you eating your favorite bowl cereal. Jake's going to join us. You got to have the right bowl. We're going to make the bowls on camera.
Yep.
Put the cereal, put the milk, do all that in there.
Yep. We are going to. This is going to be TMI. We're going to learn too much information. We're going to learn a lot about people.
I already have.
I know. Picked up lemon Cheerios.
Yeah, that's weird.
Whoa, that is weird. I'm like,
I wish, this is the first time I've ever wished I lived in Minneapolis.
Why is that?
Because the Mall of America, I think it's in Minneapolis. Wherever the Mall of America is at, you can literally go. There's a cereal store.
What?
There's a cereal store. Do you remember the cereal Quisp?
No.
I am.
It's not
the little Martian with the antenna.
No.
Yeah, you can go to this cereal store. At least you used to be able to, and they would basically box up any cereal they ever made.
Really?
And you can get Quisp.
Ooh.
I will find a picture of it and have it for next week's show.
All right.
That was a cereal when I was really little. That was what I ate. My mom used to buy me Quisp.
Yeah. Yep. I'm thinking Trix was the rabbit.
Quisp.
Yeah. Victor's going, yes, but I am old.
yeah.
And nothing like at one point, my mom, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. So cereal at our house growing up, she would buy a box of Captain Crunch. First of all, we were diving for the toy as soon as she bought it. McDowell and Litchfield Road has a store called Cereal Killers. Only cereal. McDowell and Litchfield Road. I might have to go check that out. So the first thing we always did is we dove for the toy. So there was always a toy in cereal. I don't think they do toys in cereal anymore. I don't look, but I don't think they do. All the junky cereal I've ever eaten as an adult never had a toy in it. But that was the first thing we did is we went diving for the toy. But a box of Cheerios or cereal or anything never lasted long in the house.
Right.
Until she started buying the bag cereal. And then I was like, yeah, no.
All right, hang on a minute.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm playing.
Are you trying to find the quicks?
Yeah, because we got to talk about Quisp.
Quisp. Is that Quisp? Okay.
Quisp.
Like kind of a funny.
It's not a great picture. It's not a great picture. But it's an okay picture.
We're just an okay show.
Yeah. Well, not until next week. We're done.
We will be banned for life.
This was me finding something very quickly. This is Quisp.
Oh, you got to shrink it down. I just see.
I can't. That's it. That's the only picture I could find. It wasn't a web file.
That's an interesting looking cereal. It's almost like a puffy flake.
Yeah, it's kind of they're little saucers.
All right. Well, obviously, it's a market.
Yeah, it's little saucers. So yeah. So, but I will have a better picture of Quisp.
There you go. But yeah, so get a picture of you on Discord eating your favorite bowl of cereal. We will share it on the show. Honestly, I don't think they do prizes anymore. This is called Jumping the Shark. Yes, it is so.
Yeah.
What is your favorite cereal with Mike and Jeff? Yes, exactly. So
there we go. So
until next week,
we have officially planned out next week's show.
I think it's going to be a whole show about cereal.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great.
It'll be the Boomers Eating Cereal show. Yeah,
I think Victor and I are the only boomers that you're not.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm under you, man. I'm Gen X.
Victor, what year were you born? Are you a boomer or are you is it a Gen Xer?
Xer. I wonder if that's why Elon Musk named Twitter X, because he's a Gen Xer.
I have no idea.
They don't, because some kids ate the. Yeah, I know. Like I said, we can't have good Saturday morning cartoons because kids would try stupid stuff.
I remember once jumping off my garage roof with a trash can thinking it was going to be a parachute.
Yeah. So
Victor and I are boomers.
Boom, boom, chicka chicka.
Boomer.
All right, everybody. So we're going to cut out of here. Get your photos.
All right. Send me a picture of you eating your favorite cereal. I will get some pictures of all the cool cereals from back then, including Quist.
Okay.
And then Jake's going to join us.
This is nostalgia. Food nostalgia is what we're going to be going through. And
all because Zoomers won't eat their cereal.
Yes, exactly. This is going to be nostalgia through food, because if you think about it, cereal was such an important part of our childhood, just like Happy Meals.
Yep.
Happy Meals were really a lot of fun back when we were kids. We got that stupid toy. So it's related to our toy addiction. But we can relate to good times in life to the cereal we were eating at the time. So Frito Bandito was a prize. Okay. Fascinating. I don't recall a lot of the toys, but it was just a good time back then. All right. So we're going to bounce out of here.
I got to run to the store. That's all I got. I got to get
this. We got to start. Wait, this is very stressful.
Well, here's the thing. All right. I'm highly triggered right now. So I need to go find my cereal, not for next week, but I'm craving cereal right now. I haven't had breakfast yet. So I'm like, I'm going to go get some cereal.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a cereal episode, everybody. So buckle up. Get ready for an interesting show next week.
It should be awesome.
I'm gonna get us out of here. So we'll be back next week. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Just enjoy your hobby and just be ready for an interesting ride next week. So
it'll be awesome. It'll be great.
Talk to you all later. Have a good one.